here with Norman Nolan at the ACC Tournament 2016. And Norman, just first and foremost, what it means to you to be honored as a legend of this conference.
Extremely humble to be honored. It's a great honor to represent the University of Virginia, world-class institution. Just extremely blessed.
What can you say when you look back on your time at Virginia, some of those moments that you had? I mean, obviously being honored as Player of the Week, different things that you were able to do, especially in your senior season scoring-wise, just what you can say about maybe some of those fond memories at Virginia.
Wow, just the brotherhood, the hard work that we put in through the up and down years. We went from a great year to a not so good year to a decent year to a bad year. And just the consistency of the guys staying together. We never gave up on one another. Coaching staff never gave up, and just played for ourselves and for the institution.
What can you say about that coaching staff, some of the memories that you have, and maybe some of those teaching tools that you take with you today?
Just tough, hard-nosed. We approached every day like it was the last day. We went into practice to get better every single day. We competed, we made each other better, and we tried to exhibit that on the court also. So just the toughness part of it.
When you see kind of the ups and downs, it's funny, I was coming into the Verizon Center this year, and there was a Virginia fan talking with a North Carolina fan, and the North Carolina fan said, pretty good rivalry we have right now, and the Virginia fan said, yeah, finally. They have something like that. What can you say about where Virginia is right now as a proud alum to see this team grow into a place where they are getting that respect, not just every once in a while, but from year to year now?
It's great. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Our last great years were when we played, going to the Elite Eight one year. But the job that Tony has done in such a short amount of time, and just the kids that are buying into the system, and then you see the overall support is just tremendous. Yesterday at the game, it felt like a home game, which is, you can't ask for anything more to have your university mentioned as a top 5, top 10 basketball school in the country. So,
bring me back to that Elite Eight run and just what you remember from that in your time playing.
Oh man, it's almost a blur. Everything happened so fast. The team, we gelled at the right time. We had a lot of expectations early in the season, and we struggled a little bit. Coach cracked down on us, took away a lot of our privileges early on to make us refocus and to get us hungry for the long haul, and it really worked out. And we were able to make a good run into the NCAA Tournament and go to the Elite Eight.
As far as the team now, how much do you try and stay in touch with the team? Do you try and get around the team at all? I mean, obviously watching the games, but how connected are you to the current team and Tony Bennett and everything now?
As connected as I can be. I was fortunate enough to go back in 2012 and earn my degree, 2010 and earn my degree, and that was when Tony was first coming in and has only been there a few years, and got really close with the team. I have two former teammates, one assistant coach, one is head strength and conditioning coach, Mike Curtis and Jason Williford. So I talk with them all the time, and I was able to make it back to some games the last few years once my professional career ended. So I'm trying to be more involved, constantly watching the games, constantly in contact with as many people as I can from the program.
Your professional career playing overseas, just what that's been like. I mean, I get to talk to a lot of different players that played collegiately that had an opportunity to go overseas and talk about how amazing it is to see different things there, to play the game itself, the talent level, and obviously from country to country and even within countries how different it can be. What was your experience like overseas?
Probably the best experience of my life. I was fortunate enough to be able to do something that I love and get paid for it. Whether it was, the NBA or playing overseas, I got to play basketball for a living. I've traveled to I've played in 15 different countries, traveled to over 30 different countries. So just adapting to the different lifestyles, the different cultures, the different traditions, and the style of play, I mean, I can't ask for anything more. It was like a free trip around the world for 15 years, and just fortunate enough to stay healthy long enough to finish out a successful career is all I have to say about it. It was fantastic.
And to look at the team currently, you look at your playing days to the players that are currently there now, what can you say about a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who's obviously fought to have an opportunity and on this team wasn't always the dominant scorer, wasn't always being the guy asked to take the shot. He's worked on his jump shot and different things, but he is someone who people have considered to be a leader throughout his career. So what can you say about where he's at right now and how he's developed his game that offense is kind of almost caught up with his defense?
First of all, extraordinary young man. Exceptional. And you can see the confidence that Tony and the coaching staff has in him now, because he's taken a lot of shots that he wouldn't take last year or even the year before. He's taken that big shot. He's taken it earlier in the offense because they need him to do that. So just having the know-how and the feel to do that just shows the type of leader he is. He knows the team needs him to do that, and he's done it.
When you look at this team, knowing what they're capable of together with Malcolm Brogdon as well as with London Prances and Anthony Gill, when you look at and Mike Tobey as well, the veteran leadership, knowing that eventually this torch has to be passed at some point, how confident are you that a guy like Tony Bennett as a head coach and this team and kind of the talent that they're going after can be successful post some of these guys that have gotten them to where they are right now this season, but also in prior seasons gotten them to some pretty high places?
I would say the one thing that Tony has done extremely well, and I know it's not by design, but he's gotten a few transfers to come in, a few guys that have redshirted, who's had an opportunity to see the system and be in the system before actually playing in the system. So I think that in itself is instrumental in some of the leadership skills that these guys are possessing. Just like the transfer in that's coming in next year from Memphis. Gill went through the process, Brogdon redshirted a year, all set, they set behind Mike Scott. And learn from Mike Scott with him getting an extra year. And then with the recruiting class, it starts with the players you're able to get, and he's getting top 10 recruiting classes now. So it's all starting to gel at the right time and come together piece by piece. And I think guys are starting to figure out that he's recruiting intelligent kids, first of all, and good human beings. So that's a plus.
Lastly, what can you say as a proud alum, knowing where Tony Bennett is going and where he's trying to take this program? What can you say about how you define it at this point?
I define it as Tony being the next Coach K or Dean Smith in the ACC, a coach that has a great track record in history at a prestigious institution that's instilling a great basketball program that will be around for 20, 30 plus years.